Vos émissions préférées, elles sont toutes sur Radio Grand Lac.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Bonjour et bienvenue chez Your English Weekly. Je suis Klaus, j'ai remplacé Sinead et je serai avec vous tous les mardis vers 12h05 sur le 92.1 pour un entretien live toutes les semaines en période scolaire en anglais avec un personnage local sur une de ses passions. Vous pouvez trouver la transcription de l'émission sur notre site Your English Workshop, votre atelier d'anglais, du coup, yourenglishworkshop toutattaché.com, ainsi qu'un glossaire pour expliquer le vocabulaire qui sera éventuellement difficile pour un savoyard moyen. Ne prenez pas mal. Et aussi, vous trouvez l'émission elle-même sur la chaîne YouTube de Radio Grand Lac, en cherchant Radio Grand Lac et Your English Weekly. Je passe à l'anglais. My guest today is Arthur. Arthur, thank you very much for being with us, Arthur.
Thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Radio Grand Lac.
Yes, so we're here to talk about one of your passions. I don't know which passion you have chosen. I have just told you that it's about a passion. So, Arthur, what makes you tick? What is a passion of yours?
Could be various passions that make me tick. I can think of like few that I love: photography, traveling, yoga. But one that really is actually present in my mind today is spirituality. It's been an incredible journey for me because I was born and raised in a family that is totally non-religious, and I was given the opportunity to like create my own spirituality, but I was not interested by it since a very particular moment, a very specific moment in my life. And that is when my dad passed away. I was age 14. I was living in Aix-les-Bains. And I comforted myself not in religion or in spirituality, but as I was a science guy, I loved all that was surrounding about medicine and life science. That gave me the first insight of the meaning of life. I was searching the meaning of our life, the meaning of the greater truth in science. So I did my graduation in life science, agriculture, organic agriculture, sustainability, trying to find a meaning.
Wonderful. That's yes. So when you said your dad passed away when you were 14, that means he died, just so it's clear to everyone. He's deceased. And up to that point in your life, you weren't so interested also as a child and a young adolescent in spirituality. You were more of a rational, I'm not saying being spiritual is irrational, but you were more interested in rational things, and spirituality wasn't one of your preoccupations. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was totally raised, and I created an environment of rationalism. Everything could be explained by materialistic things and science. At the point I discovered that when I studied quantum physics, that some of the greatest minds of quantum physics discovered in the end that it revealed the existence of a greater source, God, in other in another language.
Cultures or people who use the word God.
Today I don't believe in God, in the existence of God. I believe more in the existence of a universal source of life, a source of love. But what made me really twist in my mind, was a switch in my mind, was when I moved to Brazil as part of my life journey and agriculture engineer practice. I moved to Brazil, and it's a totally different country where there's not like in France the laic country, the laicity. I don't think it non-religious state.
Secular, yes.
Yes, secular. Thanks, Klaus. I don't have this word in mind. And it's totally different. It's a very religious country, but also materialistic, also very primal in its instincts. And it shocked me in a way that I've never seen before. And I've been in contact with all types of religion there, Christians, Afro-Brazilian, indigenous, even a French spiritist religious movement that interested me, that is very widespread in Brazil. And then I had an opportunity, when I was in Brazil, I didn't have the opportunity to travel to India like a lot of people do, to study yoga and everything, but there's a strong community there. And I was very deeply involved into the Vedic and Ayurvedic studies and the yogic, not only the movement part of the yoga. And it really enlightened my path in this journey of spirituality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also, of course, a philosophical and theoretical and side to yoga. I think that's what you're referring to. It's not about necessarily doing postures. And
it's not only about the asanas.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the philosophy involved, which derived from the teachings of the Buddha, of Siddhartha. So later I'm interested also in Buddhism, which is a very interesting way. And that's a lot for me to process. But it was a lot for me to process. And now I cultivate my own spirituality, and this is it's a great passion. There are a group of friends. We have meetings and we meditate. We have encounters of singing and everything. It's very, very
enriching.
Enriching. I was searching the word because for me, spirituality is about fulfillment of the self.
Fulfillment?
Fulfillment. Fulfillment of the self, not fulfillment. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. I also struggle with English, to tell you the truth. I think I just translate it more from French than really saying an English word. When I said enrich, and I think you'd say nurture would be probably the best word.
Would be very much accurate.
Yeah. And so talking about nourishment and nurturing, you said, of course, what nurtured this spirituality. I know you've been already talking about it. When your father passed away and when you went to Brazil were two things you mentioned. Could you just be a little more explicit and elaborate a bit on whom you met, what you saw, what you felt, what impression and things made on you, and why you were attracted to spirituality?
Yeah, because firstly, when I was younger, I didn't think that spirituality could be different from religion. And religion, I was a bit afraid of the movements that are involved, and I was like always a bit
taken aback, a bit skeptical.
Skeptical, because it's been the reason for so much war and so much violence, and I was like searching the meaning of the religions, and in all the religions I've met, the people I talked, and the ceremonies that I've participated, the one thing that came out is that all are preaching non-violence, and spirituality is it's a non-religious fact. It's the cultivating of love, universal love, and that's what has made me passionate about that.
Mm-hmm. It's what it drives your passion for spirituality, and passion is a word that comes from the Passion of Christ, so a biblical kind of context, and it implies also kind of suffering. Is there also suffering? Have there been obstacles on your spiritual path? And if so, what were they? What are they?
Yeah, totally. It's been a on and it's been a down and up journey. I've been in the main obstacles was the different visions that my family had of me doing these things. My friends also, which is essentially seeing it from the point of view of France, of Savoie here, which they're tolerant people, but we're not getting it. Where I was
get something means to understand something.
Yeah, where I was searching for meaning in different spiritualities. And it's been very difficult to be accepted as a spiritual seeker, let's say it.
Accepted by people who aren't on that same journey, as you said, mostly, who just don't understand why you're doing it. Yeah,
because then I also found people that accept, embrace, and cultivate it with me. We have different groups here in the region, here in Savoie, and it's all about meditating and singing and dancing, and it's very nice. It's very interesting.
So even in France and in Savoie, you can pursue this path. Do you think that there are parts of the world that are more spiritual than others, and how would Savoie fit in there?
It would be a comparison that I can't make, like saying that other parts are more spiritual. Maybe they are a lot more religious, and we have more knowledge of the real total amount of followers of some kind of whatever religion. But spirituality can be everywhere. It can be cultivated by anyone, and many people who aren't and part of any religion are doing some sort of spiritual activity. Like a lot of people here in France or in the region are involved in associations, activities that are helping the others without cultivating some sort of spirituality, but they have. It's a spirituality.
They're like putting into practice the love that is so important to you, the universal love.
Yeah.
Yes. What is what? So if we talk more about the essence of what drives you on this quest, on this search, I mean, if just to put it very bluntly, is it just putting like a humanistic kind of approach where well-being and love is not lost from view, as is often, unfortunately, the case in our modern society, where with wars and other even more subtle conflicts, we kind of forget it. Is that a central thing to you, or what? How can you express it in what's the essence of?
In the essence, you can tell that it's this humanistic point of view. It's also the non-attachment to a lot of material stuff. Well, that's the essence.
We tend to think that material things will make us happier.
Yeah,
and that's not really true. You're perhaps you're saying.
Yeah. We are. It's some kind of new age thinking, but it's totally real. And there are so many people struggling with their own their internal self and fulfilling around with material things to get the sense of fulfillment. So it's not about enlightenment. I don't think that it's given to me or anyone to have the right to call themselves enlightened. It's about being happy with what you have, with who you are, and what you can do to the others. This is the core of my thinking about that.
Yeah, and you also think that the structure of existence is different than we tend to think it is in our society, or what people seem to think it is. Do you think there might be a twist to not God's story, but in shoot is a twist? Do you think there's some kind of interesting discovery that we will make when we die, for instance?
For sure. We don't know what's beyond the veil.
The veil is le voile.
Yeah, but there's so many questions that all religions have tried to answer, and I think we just have to live it now, because in Spiritism, for example, they call the spirits and they try to have some kind of knowledge from the other side. Let's tell it. And in other
traditions,
in the Vedic studies and yogic studies that I identify with the most, it's like kind of prohibited, because they can't be rich. You have to live this life before. So I don't think the world will tend to be. We have to throw away everything, but we need to cultivate some kind of self-awareness. And I'm not some preacher or a guru, and everyone has his path in this journey.
Okay. You have some, despite the fact that you don't see yourself as a preacher or a guru, do you have some final, perhaps wise words for us before we say goodbye?
I came across yesterday that the Nasdaq was crashing because of a new AI of some kind.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, from the Chinese deep seeker, and everyone is putting the eggs. And we're so much into technology that the best technology we have, which is human connection and emotional connection, is somehow being neglected or obfuscated.
Well, thank you very much, Arthur, brother. And now let me address the audience. Our listeners, if you want to be my guest and be interviewed live in English and talk about one of your passions, please contact us at our website, yourlanguageworkshop.com. Don't worry about your English. If you just understood what I said, it's good enough. Donc, retrouvez-nous toutes les semaines, sauf la semaine prochaine où il y a une exception. On ne sera pas là la semaine prochaine, donc je vous vois dans 2 semaines. Vous pouvez retrouver le glossaire et la transcription sur notre site que je viens de citer, yourlanguageworkshop.com, et bien sûr sur la chaîne YouTube de Radio Grand Lac 92.1 pour l'émission elle-même. À dans 2 semaines.